Welcome to the Pharma Voice Editor's Take video series, filmed live at the 2012 DIA Annual Meeting in Philadelphia. Hosted by Taryn Grome, editor of Pharma Voice. In this session, Taryn meets with Liz Mensch, President and CEO, MediciGlobal.
Hi, we're here at the 2012 DIA conference with Liz. Welcome to the Editor's Take program.
Thank you, Taryn. Really pleased to be here.
Liz, you are an expert in the social media field in terms of clinical trials. So let's talk about how social media is changing patient recruitment.
I think the biggest aspect of social media is that it's changing the term and the process from recruitment to engagement. Patients want to be engaged in the process, and social media is really allowing us to do that. It's actually industry's best friend in clinical trials because it's overcoming fear, lack of knowledge, and it is a forum that allows us to talk more specifically about clinical trials.
Some say social media is just a passing fad in the clinical trial field. True or false?
False. For every 5 minutes spent online, 1 minute is on a social network such as Facebook.
That's an amazing statistic. So talk to me specifically how MediciGlobal is using social media for patient recruitment.
We've actually built some of the largest patient communities on Facebook specifically. Our Team Epilepsy community is now 178,000 people strong as of today. Our gout community is 73,000 strong and growing. Our lupus community for lupus nephritis and skin lupus is now over 12,000. Celiac 10,000, and in fact some of these are the largest communities in that therapeutic area. And in rare diseases, patients are in fact coming together because they're engaging with one another. So last year, when the internet statistics came out, the largest growth of activity online was actually patients looking for communities in which to come together. And we're at the forefront of building some of the largest ones in the industry.
Those are some amazing statistics. So how do patients convert from social media pages to becoming a clinical trial participant?
Imagine, Taryn, that there's actually two worlds online now. There's the web and there's social. And we have to have a presence in both. So you've got a website with a patient pre-screener that allows patients to screen online against the protocol inclusion criteria. We're actually doing that in the social world. We're the first company to build, in fact, pre-screeners for clinical trials into Facebook. And so patients never have to leave Facebook to see whether or not they qualify for a clinical trial. So we actually work in two worlds now, the web and social.
So given all that, how do you measure success?
Many different ways. One is the reach. How many patients are we reaching on a weekly basis? The second aspect is how many patients are we converting from viewing a social media page to clicking on the pre-screener, and then how many who pre-screen actually end up in participating in the clinical trial. And in fact, what we can now tell you is, in fact, the social arena is driving more and more of our patient recruitment programs.
Social media, global or just US versus just Europe?
Great question. In fact, in Brazil, they are the most socially engaged community. If we look at Russia through vContacte, in fact, they are using social media even more than Americans are. In Germany, they're using social media, but they're not liking pages. But the traffic shows they're going there to learn and to watch, but they're not going to leave their name as they like it. So, in fact, it is global. We only need to look at the change in the Middle East to see that social media is having a profound impact on every aspect of daily life.
Is social media replacing Google advertising?
No, it's not. In fact, when patients go online, they're doing three things. They are seeking using Google and other search engines. They are searching, which is in fact where they search for a particular page or a destination, and they're social. So what we see is it's seek, search, and social. So there is a place and a role for each of the different platforms that currently exist online.
That's fascinating. Now, talk to me, because I know you're very passionate about this subject. What are your views on industry's hesitancy around social media?
You know, I'm fortunate enough to have been in this industry long enough. 30 years ago, I pioneered in the very first direct-to-consumer advertising campaign for prescription ibuprofen. 30 years later, I'm pioneering in social media. If we go back 30 years ago, FDA put in place a 2-year moratorium on direct-to-consumer advertising. Now, there are delays in guidelines. Whenever something is this new, it takes FDA a while to catch up. That also makes industry cautious. Many of them don't know social media, understand it, or in fact have the knowledge base to really rule on it.
Given the fact that social media is a new innovation, you are a pioneer in this field, so how do you measure the effectiveness of a social media campaign?
Bottom line is time, money, the speed of accelerating a clinical trial. And that's absolutely critical. Sponsors want to see, is it speeding the process? Yes, it is. The message that's getting out there is getting out there faster. So it's all measured by how quickly are patients reading about a study, acting on it, and how quickly can we close out the recruitment process. And it's working.
Liz, this is such exciting stuff. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you, Taryn.
Additional Editors Take videos, as well as podcasts, white papers, webinars, and more, are available in the resources area at www.pharmavoice.com.